Intelligent people who are good at their jobs and solve problems all day often try and think, optimize, or grind their way through the gym because that's the method that helps them succeed at work. But then they often take issue getting started, staying consistent, or even enjoying the gym in the first place. And what they don't realize is that trying to apply their thinking mind to their bodies only makes the problems worse. People want consistency and transformation, but they default to collecting more information. People want to move freely every day to see gains, but they scroll on Instagram trying to find the perfect workout routine or to confirm that they're exercising correctly. Instead of using weightlifting as an opportunity to connect with their bodies, they count reps and chase metrics. And that mind that makes them so good at their jobs is ruining their enjoyment. But you can learn to love to go to the gym by focusing on the natural flow of movement without thought. By focusing on the sensations of your muscles and the flow of endorphins, you can savor every rep. Instead of talking yourself into it, you can learn to crave the gym and stick to it over the long run. And that is how you get jacked over time. High achievers tend to have similar problems in art. People want to paint, but they don't consider themselves artistic. People want to express themselves, but they only ever spend time learning techniques. Instead of creating from a place of peace and tranquility, they operate under the subconscious idea that all work will be scrutinized and judged. But you can learn the satisfaction of putting paint on canvas without a goal. You can learn to express yourself without any worry or self-judgment. And you can learn the satisfaction of each individual brushstroke, which leads up to a creative practice that is inherently fulfilling. And art and fitness alone can be incredibly rewarding pursuits. But in combining art and fitness together, you can turn off the tap of running thoughts in place of presence and enjoyment. You can quiet your mind and tune back into your body. And creative momentum and physical momentum go hand in hand to bring you to a state of embodiment and expression rather than worry or judgment. I know a lot about living in this state. Back when I was a software engineer, I used to write code and optimize processes and discuss systems architecture all day. And by the end of the day, I'd feel totally disconnected from my body and living in my head. I would hop from one 30-minute meeting to the next and felt like I was living in calendar brain, even outside of work, where everything was fragmented and organized and technical. And I wanted to go back into a state where I was feeling sensory and embodied. I knew that I would be able to enjoy my free time outside of work if only I was able to tap back into this more primal, embodied state. So through the years of trial and error, I created the perfect solution, Flex and Paint. Flex and Paint combines artistic practice and physical movement to enter a state of embodiment and expression without running thoughts. I'm not worried about how my physique looks or if I'm doing it right or how to organize my workout. I lift and I enjoy it. I'm not worried about if I create a perfect painting. I simply move paint around and soak in the sensations that the medium has to offer. And this isn't to say that I completely disregard techniques. Instead, it's a prioritization of making the basic movements inherently worthwhile so that progress becomes inevitable. And I find that the more I stay in this state of mind, the more I'm able to take it with me through the remainder of my day, enabling me to be more present. I turn Flex and Paint into a course so you don't have to spend years analyzing and optimizing your way to the same conclusions. Flex and Paint is a step-by-step set of exercises to get you out of your head and back into your body. And you're supported with a community of other like-minded individuals on a similar journey. And the people in Flex and Paint get jacked, artistic, and find greater presence, like Jake, who was an early adopter in Flex and Paint. Jake wanted to build strength, but he didn't identify as a fit person. He had some amount of anxiety to even get into the gym in the first place, and he had no idea where to even approach weightlifting. But through the tools in Flex and Paint, Jake built basic familiarity with kettlebells and reshaped his identity around movement. Now Jake is lifting in the gym with his coworkers 3 times a week, and he's talking about lifts with competence and confidence. And best of all, he's enjoying the process, which is something he never thought he would do. London saw a similar journey, but she already had a gym habit. She saw some issue with her consistency and her discipline. So through the tools in Flex and Paint, London turned off the tap of running thoughts that was getting in the way of her consistency and her enjoyment. London used to go to the gym 5 times a month, and now she's in the gym 3 times a week. And she's using the same tools to extend her artistic practice. Better yet, she found that she's having increased presence at work, connecting with her clients and connecting with herself through the remainder of her day. So if you're wondering if Flex and Paint is for you, I want you to ask yourself, have you approached fitness in the past from a place that is fragmented and isolated from who you are? Do you dislike the idea of boot camp style training videos that seem painful and to cause suffering, and instead you'd rather learn about body awareness and mind-muscle connection and the principles that cause sustainable changes to your physique? And the same goes for art. If you've done the technical approach with all of the self-doubt and the judgment that comes with it, and you'd prefer to learn to enter a state of flow and expression, then Flex and Paint is for you. I want to help you enter the default state of living in your sensory reality, connecting with your muscles, connecting with the medium, instead of living in your head, hoping for more information that'll make a change. So join me in Flex and Paint, book a call below.